realized that I forgot to connect the microphone here. Here we go. Rookie mistake. I'm a minute early, I think. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, this is on. Hopefully people can hear now. Okay, so this is my Tuesday live. The last one I did was Sunday. Sunday at 6, so if you're interested in watching that recording, it's on my YouTube channel under live, where all of my previous recordings are. I seem to be in this mode now that I have one of these every other day, which seems to be a pretty good schedule for me at least. So today this is my weekly, I wouldn't call it a meeting marathon, but I have my meeting with my social media manager starting in 1 minute, followed by a client meeting at 4 local time, so in 1 hour. So this is what I've been doing over the last couple of weeks, so I plan on doing this. So I'm gonna leave the camera running. Live's gonna be running in the background, and people can tune in. If there are any personal topics, like last time, I muted the microphone for a little bit with my client, obviously, because there might be some topics that we cover that are more personal, and if he wants to have a private session, then obviously I have to end this, just to make sure that his rights are being respected, so to say. But anyhow, let me call my social media manager. I'm going to leave this running in the background, and hopefully you guys can hear what we are discussing. That's the whole idea. So go behind the scenes. Just adjust the microphone here. Go behind the scenes, and if this is useful to anybody else, meaning what is it that we are talking about? Optimizing my content, making sure that I create attention, convert the attention, and then obviously able to deliver. And that's the whole idea. We're probably going to be talking about some future content today with Nelson, and see what we're going to put together. And if any of you are content creators, or you are on YouTube, or you're just curious about business overall, how to kind of market and whatnot, hopefully this is useful. So, and again, I'm trying to look at some questions as I go, if there are any in the past. Thank you for all the questions, by the way. It's been really useful. But anyhow, now I'm going to call him. I'm going to do a video call here. Just find the contact. Here we go. And then start the meeting. And let's see what comes up. What comes up? Let me put this on the counter here. Hey, man.
Hey, what's up?
Here we go. Okay, so let me actually, what I'm gonna do, personal now. People don't, yeah, maybe it's running in the background actually, which would be good. What's going on?
All right. I first want to go through how we're doing first, like a progress check or something.
Yes.
Just to show you the stats.
Yes.
Let me show you my screen.
Let's do that.
All right. So this is.
So what are we looking at right now? So this is
this is your Instagram.
Oh, okay. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Okay, so basically it's, as you can see, there's a lot of green here. Basically means we're getting more views, and we're getting views from non-followers. Basically a newer audience.
That's good.
Not from your current followers. Yeah, that's good. And then reach is also, we're reaching like multiple accounts. That's up 76.5% from, I think, the previous month.
Yeah.
Before like July 15, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
so for Instagram, numbers are up.
Yeah, so hold on before we go any further. Just some feedback. I think the shorts are obviously quality-wise much better now that you started working on those, and I'm happy with those. The only thing I'm thinking when it comes to the shorts is that would we because now what we're doing with the shorts is that we are basically utilizing the long content, and I think that 80% has to be the case. going forward,
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of potential to create specific shorts. Yes, which has been the case for Wednesday. You know, so tomorrow I believe you have one script for
Yes.
me,
Yeah.
but I think it could
Yep.
be like we discussed last time. I think it could be something that is not video related, or meaning not related to the long videos we have created.
Yeah.
So like completely
Actually,
different, like a completely different script stuff. You know, we could
yeah.
improvise and test some new ideas.
Yeah. Actually, I want to talk about that too after this.
Okay.
Basically, for tomorrow, we could start doing like the green screen video that I was talking about,
Yeah.
where you answer Reddit questions.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that actually. It doesn't need like scripting. Maybe you just, I give you, or you could do it like go to Reddit and then pick one question and then just answer that question
Okay.
like very honestly without scripts.
Okay, and then you're
And
gonna
then, yeah.
edit it, and then it's gonna be posted as a
Yep.
short. I think it
Yep.
makes a lot of sense. So I think it would be best if you gave me some questions, and I can answer all
Yep.
of them. You know, like give me three or
Okay.
whatever, and then
Okay.
pick the one that you think is the best, and then create the short out
Okay.
of that. Or you can use all of them later. I mean, we could.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we have then the material. But when you say green screen, so what does it? Are you gonna do the green screen ad? You know, the addition part later, then I just basically record it wherever, right? And then you're gonna add it
Yeah.
later, or how does it work?
Basically, there's an effect in like TikTok for you to use the green screen. I will send you a video later on.
Okay.
It's like a very simple tutorial on it.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
But so,
Okay, I
but
think
in TikTok, so you want me to record it using TikTok? Is that a stupid question?
yeah, it's TikTok. It's like the easiest way to record it with the effect.
Ah, okay, okay, okay. So basically, I
Yeah.
open up the TikTok application, kind of like start recording it,
Yeah.
and then the
Yeah,
TikTok.
you
Yeah.
can.
Okay, got it.
And then you can, after you record it, you can just save it and then send it to me, and I'll edit. Yeah.
Okay, understood. Okay, so conclusion is that okay, you're gonna send me some topics that I'm gonna answer, and
Yep.
then you're gonna turn them into shorts, and I'm gonna use the TikTok green screen editing or the recording function. Okay, got it.
Yep. Okay.
Understood.
Okay. Okay. So this is Instagram,
Yeah.
and for Facebook, it doesn't. It's not really looking good. I think the only thing is you need to add a profile picture on the Facebook page,
Yeah.
because I don't know why they don't let me add a picture. I can only add the banner here,
Oh.
and I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
So you need to put your profile picture on your Facebook.
Okay, got it. Okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
I'll do that. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, we look at LinkedIn now. So this is past 28 days.
Mm.
And then you can see like we get a lot more impressions because we're basically posting every day.
Yeah.
And this is around where we start, like around July 26th, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, that's good.
I mean, this is the 90-day view. I don't know, like there's a maybe because it has been posted longer or something. That
I used to do.
some
I used to
people
post the. I used to post the long videos there as well. Meaning, if they were like under whatever 8 minutes or 10 minutes, then I uploaded the whole video or then just a link. I don't know if that's something that you want to do, like create a short description
I
of the
actually-
video and then maybe add the link there and
Yeah.
also post the direct. I mean the long form video.
I actually did like put a link to some of your videos.
Okay.
Wait, let me show you.
Yeah.
I think it's this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a short video, and then they say if you want to watch the full
Yeah,
video,
yeah,
just
yeah.
watch it.
But what I'm saying is
Okay,
that
so-
that whenever the long one is published, would it make sense
Yeah.
to kind of like just like create a post about that long video, like a summarized version, like the text part, and then just add the link there to that video? You know what I mean? Or maybe you're doing with those videos are exactly what you're doing then.
Yeah, I did because this
Okay.
is for our newest video. I did like a summarized version of it.
Yeah.
But this time I didn't post the video link to YouTube. Instead, I do a CTA to go to your
Yeah, yeah,
main
yeah, yeah,
page.
yeah. Understood.
Yeah.
Understood.
But
Yeah,
I
I
think
obviously I don't have a.
previously I did.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this one is the one I linked them to the video.
Yeah,
I did it. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Obviously, I don't know what the right strategy is. I'm just, you know, obviously, I
Yeah.
think it.
Actually, what I see other people are doing is like it's not that different.
Mm,
It's just I think maybe the only thing that we're missing is what kind of content works
mm,
best, not
mm.
the format, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I agree. And then the big question in my mind always is that how short do the posts need to be, and the videos? Meaning, people are just like, you know how the attention span is. There's just so much that they are
Yeah,
being exposed to on a daily basis. So I think that's what we have to be really mindful of, or every time we
yeah,
post. That do people really want to read, and how do we capture their? I mean, again, it comes back to hook as well. Whether it's video or
yeah,
text or whatever, there's always the hook.
yeah, yeah, I agree. But I think like what I said in WhatsApp before,
Mm,
like as long as we're saying the quote unquote right things
mm,
that makes them feel a certain way,
yeah.
and then I think they are willing to sit through even
Mm,
for
mm.
maybe hours.
Yeah,
And
if
if
it
the
adds
video,
value, you're right. If it adds
yeah,
value, it doesn't really matter how long or short it is. I mean, people always say that nobody has attention
yeah,
anymore, or their attention span is so short. But you know, then on the other hand, people are willing to binge watch TV. I mean, Netflix TV shows for 2 days in a row. I mean, if the quality is there, it's not a problem, right?
yeah.
So
Also, quickly, I think there's some people want to add you like invites.
yeah,
I don't.
you can just
Yeah, so I don't know.
can you accept on my behalf, or it's, you can just accept
Okay.
everybody.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, just fine. You can just
You want to
accept them.
accept all of it?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
Okay.
some of them are spam, but you know, it's just like, then I
Yeah.
just ignore them. That's okay.
I think it helps with reach as well. So yeah, I don't know.
Correct. Yeah, that's fine. Um, and these lives that I have going on right now, I think there's, I mean, somehow, I mean, I'm talking to people here now, looking at the camera. My nose is red. Fuck, I had a pimple
Yeah.
here. I still have. Um, anyhow, so like being willing to, you know, humiliate yourself and being your true self and raw and real and whatnot. I'm just the biggest believer in that nowadays. So I think it's been
Yeah.
really interesting, these dialogues that I've been able to have with, of course, a selected few up to this point, but I still think there's a lot of untapped potential as far as how to do it. And maybe you know
Yeah.
this better than me, but I've had trouble in the past using 5G because I would like to go to different places, my properties, and start, you know, an unannounced live from there. But every time I've done it, even though my 5G
Yeah.
speed is good, I've tested it, it's actually faster than my Wi-Fi, but it
Okay.
starts buffering all of a sudden. It's like I can't do it even if I'm not moving. And it's really, it drives me nuts. I've used AI to troubleshoot it, but I haven't been able to. Now I haven't tried in a few days after I uh, you know, updated my YouTube application, but it's weird. I don't know if it seems that many people have this issue, some more than others, but
Mm.
it's been weird because it's limiting my lives now to Wi-Fi locations, and I don't like that.
Mm. I think you maybe trying 4G instead of 5G and
Oh
see if
really?
that works.
Oh really?
Yeah. I think
Oh
you
okay.
can change it in your mobile network settings, and
Interesting.
then yeah,
Okay,
like
I'll try that.
instead of it auto connects to 5G, put it like maximum 4G, and then see if it works.
Oh okay.
That's the only thing I can think of actually. Yeah.
I'll try that actually. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, Now for YouTube, just quickly, I want to tell that it's kind of hard to judge because half of the views are actually from your current subscribers,
Mm.
which is I don't know if that's good or bad because we don't know if they're into real estate or not.
Correct.
But yeah, um, for SEO, I think we're doing good actually. If I search how to double profit from construction projects on Google, yeah, there's you here.
That's good. What have you? What? Let me ask you this: what changes have you made to SEO? What do you? Why do you think that at least that particular video is ranking better? Because when I looked at some of them this morning, I was looking at the analytics, and I need to pay more attention to this.
Yep.
But it's my limited capacity.
Yep.
I was seeing
Yep.
that some of them ranked higher and some of them lower. And I was just wondering because obviously I don't know what the reason, and maybe you don't know either, but I'm curious to hear if you have a theory as far as why some of them rank higher. What changes did you make?
Uh, can you elaborate on like what
No,
changes?
what I'm saying is that like, well, you said that you just showed that okay, we're doing better when it comes to SEO. What contributes to that? Is it a better title, a better match with the title, or is it a better description, stuff like that? What do you why do you think that is?
Yep. It's basically we're paying more attention to how we write the titles and the descriptions.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to keep in mind of what would the someone that is dealing with that sort of thing would search for. Doesn't matter it's on YouTube or Google. Yeah. I think if we were to say how well we're doing compared to other content on YouTube or Google, I don't know. I don't really know about that because there's a lot of factors that come into play, especially now where Google is basically infused with, Gemini. It's basically AI, and then
Correct.
we don't really know how they, you know, show the video or whatever the search results are to the searcher.
I'm old fashioned, maybe whatever you want to call me, but
Yep.
I'm still a big believer in understanding what people are actively searching for instead of trends and the keywords and stuff like that. And I was playing with. I've done this in the past, but not
Yep.
nearly enough. I don't know if you've used Google Trends a lot, and
Yeah, I actually used it.
okay,
It's very hard to use.
it is very hard.
It's
It's very hard, and one of the reasons why probably I haven't been more successful with that in the past is that, like you said, it's hard. There's like the topic and the exact search words, and then you have to, when you compare, all of a sudden, then the next keyword is not like it's a topic versus a exact match. It's like there's just so much stuff there. But I think there's this unreal amount of potential, in my opinion, to understand where people are going instead of. I mean, I think being proactive instead of reactive is one big, you know, quote unquote mega trend we need to pay attention to. So how can we get better insights? And then this is why I kind of like sent you this morning my time these additional so-called soft skills or like softer topics.
Yep.
And how we can kind of like go behind the scenes, because like when I look at my clients, when I have these meetings with my clients, and it's like
Yep.
so many of the discussions start as money related, or how can I get more
Yes.
deals, or how can I get this and that. But then the underlying problem, when you start peeling the onion, it's like, okay, well, obviously, actually, the problem this person is dealing with is lack of focus, lack of discipline, being distracted, being overwhelmed. You know what I mean? And it's just
Yes.
like, so how can we really? Because I think, then again, so what I really wanted to talk to you about today is that, because if I look at myself honestly, I don't know. I don't know if I'm a top 1% real estate operator in this world. I don't know.
Yes.
I mean, I can't say, but what I do know, if I judge myself or kind of like look at myself, I think I'm really at least close to top 1% as far as understanding myself and being very good at, you know, being focused, being disciplined, understanding what complexity means, what simplicity means, and how to, you know what I mean? And I think that's really my unique quote unquote superpower. I think I'm pretty good as a businessman and as a real estate operator as well. But I think what separates me mostly from the rest of the pack is my ability to be self aware, reflect, and understand what needs to be done. Take a complex thing and simplify it. And I would like to, and it kind of like, again, if you look at that only viral video I had, the focus video, that was exactly about that stuff. And I think something about the way I look, the way I am, maybe kind of like resonates with that side really well. I'm not saying that we forget the real estate content, not in any way,
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
think we need
yeah.
to kind of like, I think what we could do, and that's where these topic ideas came from, that, okay, how can we combine both,
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so yeah, that was what I was thinking about discussing as well.
Okay.
Like, if you think about content overall and the intent of the viewers and where your clients come from, they're not necessarily from just like the real estate videos or like from the focus videos. Like, they might have watched 2 or 3 of your videos that maybe revolve around the same thing, but it's exactly what they're dealing with. And it could be mindset, it could be, just real estate in general. And this is what I was talking about. Like, we shouldn't think of creating content in a linear way. Like, they all come in all sorts of different directions, right? And so we need to we need to cast like a big net. That
Mix and match.
if you take a whole person and then ask him what kind of problems are you dealing with, he's gonna probably spit out a lot of different
Correct.
things.
Correct.
And then obviously there's a lot of things that you can help him with, but the more general that you talk about things, the more diluted your message becomes.
Correct.
So we need to find a way how to, not lose the quality of our message for the sake of, the wideness of our reach. If you think about it. Okay, so obviously we cannot think of this like coming from zero and then we come up with an idea that is like 100%. Let's say we're coming from zero, right? So we're gonna use AI, ChatGPT to do it. And it's actually what I want to show you today. Like,
Sure.
let's just go through like one of your scripts that you sent me,
Okay.
and then just let's prompt together
Yeah.
what we think of how
Is
to
that the
make
one that you sent, that I sent to you yesterday?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
It's the latest video.
Yeah.
Okay, let me show you the screen. Okay, yeah. So this is what I usually do, and then so the first thing I usually do is I just look at how the message feels and how does it the overall feel of the video. So what I didn't like about this showcase, I know that we're trying to like go towards the strategy of telling a story.
Yeah.
Because of course people will relate more to stories better
Correct.
than just like info.
Yeah. By the way,
right?
I'm not. So before you, sorry to interrupt, but I'm not the biggest fan of that either. I mean, I threw it out there just as a opener for discussion and as an idea that I think somehow we need to be able to just have like a story, like start, the middle, and the end. You know what I mean? And not just like have a random like set of data that we throw at them. So that was my main idea with that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. No problem. I just want to show like, okay, this is our video idea was basically about owning more rentals is not doesn't mean it's good, right?
Yeah.
So what I usually do is I want to know what our potential viewers are thinking of before we even start writing the scripts or the hook.
Yeah, like what the feelings
And
are.
yeah, knowing what their beliefs are, and then what things they might have tried that doesn't even work, or might have worked but not that good. It's just good enough that it numbs their pain for the moment. And then we're just trying to give them something that works 100 times better or something. So okay, so we know that the idea is about owning more rentals is not really a good
But
idea.
okay, so sorry to jump in. I'm not even sure now that I look at it. I'm not even sure if that's the right title. I think
Oh yeah, yeah.
the way I look at it is that, and I don't want to steal your thunder here, but maybe you're coming to that.
Yep.
But I'm thinking that, okay, what is the right title? What is the right message of the video? Maybe the right message and the title is more like, okay, so if you own, you know, several rentals, this is what you
Mm.
should do in order to make the whole process uh, feel as passive as possible. Meaning, how can I reduce my own headache so that I don't have to fix plumbing issues 24/7? So if you look at the like the real message behind the scenes of my video, I think what I was trying to tell is people is that, okay, first you need to know what to want, then you need to put together a strategy that is in alignment with that, understanding what your
Yep.
key drivers and values are, so that you don't just do random shit, that you actually do
Yep.
something that makes sense. So now that I actually
Yep.
look at it, I think the title is completely wrong, but again, maybe we're coming to that.
Mm.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I I I cannot judge the title right now because basically we first need to understand what the other person is thinking of.
Correct.
So there's of course multiple ways to do this. It's not that I say that this is wrong. It's just that how can we make it so that the title is much closer to what the viewer
Feelings
is
are.
actually thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah, understand.
Yep. So okay, so let me just show what I usually do with ChatGPT. So I just ask it uh, for people who are owning multiple properties, what was their actual goal?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Steady, predictable cash flow, long-term wealth building, financial independence, security, yeah. Tax advantages, portfolio scalability, legacy building, yeah.
Okay, so if you think about here, if they, for this one, maybe I think that you're trying to go with that their mindset is if I own more properties, I gain more passive income. Is that right?
Yeah, so to be perfectly honest with you, I
Hmm?
put I didn't put that much thought into the title
Oh,
on
okay.
purpose. That's what I got back from there. The script is more like the
Ah,
way I do it. Okay, and maybe I should just for clar. I mean, this is a good conversation we have. I like this because we are going to be on the same page eventually.
okay.
So the
Yep.
way I look at it is that so before you go there, so maybe we just like so here's what I do. So I take this large sheet of paper and I'm like I look at your
Yes.
title. I'm like that in this case the one you gave me and I'm like, do I like this or not? So
Yep.
it's like, okay, so how do I manage
Okay.
20 plus properties? So so that it becomes as effective as possible for me so that it meets
Okay.
my long-term goals of creating income, passive or active, you can argue whether it's right or wrong or whatever that's called, fine. And it builds my wealth, and ultimately I'm free and independent. Those are my goals. Ultimately, my goal in life is just to be free, and I desperately want to be free and independent, so, but nobody comes and tells me what the fuck I should be doing. That's my goal in life.
Yep.
And the other goal
Okay.
is that I have zero regrets. That's why I do a lot of hard shit so that I have no regrets when I'm 90 again. So then I'm like, okay, so putting myself in that position, then I take a marker and I start looking at, okay, here's the framework. If I look at how I run my all my 20 plus doors, I'm like, okay, so here's the thing. So I wanted to strategically, do this. So first of all, it's like understand that it's never passive, okay? Because people always often connect passive with lots of rentals. So it's okay. I'm just gonna buy these rentals, then I don't have to do anything, and I just collect paychecks. I'm like, first of all, that's bullshit. If you want to collect paychecks, dividend, that's dividends. So buy Coca-Cola or Pepsi or whatever, American Express, whoever pays a lot of dividends at the end of the quarter. So then I'm like, okay, so what am I trying to achieve? So it's like, am I crystal clear on what I want to go? And that's why I defined the value drivers first. Then I'm like, okay, what does it mean if my value drivers are this? What does it mean as far as the product goes? then I'm like, okay, so these are my value drivers. This is my mindset. This is what the product should be, and then this is how I operate it. That's how I put it together. It's like
Yeah.
end to end. So I'm a big picture guy always. I'm like, okay, so start to
Yeah.
finish. So make sure that all corners are covered, all bases are covered in that sense. Then I'm like, the title is less relevant to me. Maybe it should play a bigger role, but that's my shortcoming. But I'm like, okay, so I'll kind of like, I'm like, I'll let you figure it out, kind of like that way.
Uh,
And the thumbnail, I
okay.
should think about it
Yeah.
more. But now that I look at it, I don't think the title is correct in any way. Okay, not in any way, but like it's probably 20% correct when it comes to the actual
Yeah.
content of the video.
Mm. Yep. Okay. So what I want to say that your approach is actually correct. Like it's not wrong at all. Just what you're missing is like you're thinking in terms of you, right? You're going from okay, wait, if I were to be in this position, how would
Correct.
I do it?
Correct. Because that's
Okay,
the only way
and
how I can be, true to
yep,
myself, authentic. Because I can't
yep,
play anybody else's role, and whether this is right or wrong, but yeah.
yep. Okay, so the challenge is that when you do it that way, I how I think of it is I think in terms of like the viewer first.
Correct.
Yep.
Correct.
And then we're trying to connect, like put in the middle together, like
Correct.
the how you do it and how would someone think of it, and then there's our messaging, right?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to give you like the missing piece
Yeah.
where you can optimize how your approach goes. So
And I think before you move on, I think that's a good uh, halfway or half point conclusion in a way that maybe there's a little bit of a mismatch because you look at it from the correct standpoint, of course, because you look at it from the viewer's perspective as far as what is that they're feeling, what are the problems that they're dealing with, what's my underlying feeling or emotion when I have this thing. I would desperately want to get my portfolio up, but it's too much work. What the fuck's going on? Why is this wrong? You know what I mean? And then I look at it only from the only angle that I can put myself in, which is like how, because it's so freaking important to me that whatever I talk about, it's authentic. State the facts, tell the truth, no matter how
yeah,
fucking painful that is. I have a pimple on my nose. I'm like, okay, if I have to tell everybody that I fucking look like an idiot because I have a pimple on my nose. Okay, I mean, just to put it black and white.
yeah, yeah,
But that's how I am. So I'm like, state the facts, tell the truth. No matter how painful that is, you got to put yourself always in a position where you can like stand behind your content 100% because that's the only way how I can be natural in front of the camera and talk about stuff that I know works because they work in my
yeah,
life. But then there might be a little bit of a mismatch because my approach, I might ignore those feelings of the general audience because I cannot maybe in that state of mind put myself in their shoes as well as I should. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. How about what if I think like we can do it like in both ways. Like you can still address the what the viewer wants without losing what you actually are.
I agree. I completely agree. I think here's now that I think about it on the fly, is that
Mm.
I think what would help me is that whenever you put that stuff together, you know what I mean? So it's like give me a really like a quick, I don't know, 5-line summary or like one paragraph summary of the feelings that you think are behind these topics or titles. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And then
Yeah,
when I do it, then I kind of like try to use that as much as possible in my quote unquote draft script writing without losing my touch and my authentic way of doing it because the facts don't change, but the way I present it, the twists and turns that I use and the tiny little hooks here and there could make a big difference in the end.
yeah, yeah. That's a good idea. Yeah. I just got a really good idea because how about because we have like AI now, right? So we can just you know we can what I'm gonna show you after this is basically like knowing what the what they're thinking is how, and then
Yes,
let's just ask the AI to give you like a list of questions
correct.
out of those data, and then you will just answer those questions
Yeah,
because that way you don't lose the touch what you really are, right?
yeah, I
And
agree.
then
I think that's good.
yeah,
Yeah, but I don't want to
like
hijack this, so please show me what you do. I think it's valuable, so go ahead.
okay.
Because sometimes I have to interrupt you because otherwise I forget what I was planning on saying.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So this is we know their goal now, right? So these are multiple goals.
Yeah.
We can of course go attack, quote unquote attack, like any of those angles. Like if their goal is long-term wealth building, we can go say something like, okay, why owning 20 properties is not a good strategy for long-term wealth building. Okay, you see what I'm saying? And then we can also attack like point one, like why owning 20 properties does not guarantee a predictable cash flow, and why it's a big headache or something. So we can choose either one of these.
Okay, so hold on. So let me ask you this. So you're basically turning, so you're looking at the solution, and then you're turning it upside down and saying that, you know what I mean? That they might.
Yeah, that is one way to do it. Yes.
Okay.
Because why I'm attacking, why I'm asking AI, or like what are they trying to achieve, is basically we want to uncover what they are trying to do,
Yeah.
or what they're thinking around this topic is.
Yeah.
So what's one thing like that's not good about owning multiple properties? It could be of value to them. Like this is the foundation of the video that we're trying to do here.
If I had to now say something, I think it would be that automatically when people hear multiple properties, they hear multiple headaches, multiple plumbing problems, and then they would say, okay, and then your traditional answer would be hire a property manager, but it costs too much, and they are not very good overall.
Okay, so do you have like an idea of how to solve that?
Yeah, exactly, and that's basically what I'm trying to say with the video. That if you build your portfolio the way I tell you, so that you understand your value drivers and your product matches that. You actually, if you're doing the right things in buying, rehabbing, and how you select the tenants, the locations, and everything, basically the playbook that I highlighted, you can run a sizable portfolio without having that many headaches. You know what I mean? So, and I think the reason why I, wanted to start, also that the video with the story is that I think, and of course it's not highlighted in that script, is that had I picked the right property, I would not be in a situation where I would be on the roof of that building, shoveling snow in the middle of January on Saturday night. You know what I mean? So it's like, because I didn't do it, I made the mistake, then I'm in a position where I have the wrong product in the wrong place, and I'm doing the things that I should not be doing.
Okay. So going back to the idea just now, would you say that it's more likely tied around the goal, which is steady and predictable cash flow?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're going to that angle here.
Yes.
And then we're just gonna ask like what are the problems that they are very familiar with when handling multiple properties, multiple rental properties, for the goal of gaining more predictable cash flow.
Okay, so you're narrowing it down to number one now already?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these are like the problems they all know too well. And then you can address like a lot of this in your videos. Like you can use this in your hooks, in your body of the video. And then when you're doing this, it doesn't mean that you have to like use all of this. It's just like putting yourself in their shoes and to see things in their way, so that you can lead them to your own way on how to do things, and how to give them like the new opportunity to solve things that they have been trying to solve Okay, so there's like vacancies and turnover, late or missed rent payments, maintenance and repair prices. So all of these things.
Yeah, the first three are the big ones.
The big ones.
Vacancies and
These three,
turnover,
right?
late or missed rent payments, and maintenance and repair surprises. Yeah, those three I would focus on.
Okay.
So if you think about the
So
video I put together, if you had a chance to look at it, so basically when you have the right product, so you focus on high demand high rental demand and appreciation and all of that. I mean, it's like the right product. So you ultimately targeting the top 10% of the renters. So therefore, when your quality of your prospects is better, you obviously have less problems. How do you make sure that the quality of your prospects is as high as possible? You make sure that your product matches their needs. And then, but before that, you need to know what those needs are, meaning what your values are.
okay.
So there's like two parts. There's like buying, like you're choosing right, having the strategy, and then executing it right.
Okay. So let me think first.
Yeah, no worries.
I'm processing it.
Yeah, no worries. So it's like, just let me know if you want me to be quiet. But again, this boils down to knowing what to want and knowing how to get it. Life is very simple.
So yeah, that's the simplified
knowing what to want.
mental framework, right?
Yeah, so knowing what to want is always the hardest part for people because they just want everything, but you have to say no to stuff. Here, this is no different. So know what to want. Don't just buy random shit. Don't just buy an apartment building here and a Section 8 housing unit there, and then a tiny studio for high quality student or high net worth, whatever this here. And it's, you know what I mean? If you're all over the place, you're going to be all over the place with you. It's impossible to execute a strategy. So you got to first know what is it that you want. That's why I start with the value drivers. And maybe we should skip the active or just passive. I don't know if it makes sense there, but
yeah, it does make sense.
But
actually, you know, the way how you explained that just now is exactly how I will say it in the video. Actually,
yeah,
like for the usual ones, like you record in your videos, like it feels all too like, I don't know, maybe it's like toned down, maybe. Like you will. I was trying to get you to explain things in your videos, how you would explain it, maybe to me or someone else. Yeah.
I agree, and I think I see that actually. Again, better and better. It's a relative term, but I think it's still somehow I feel oftentimes that I'm in a hurry when I record. You know what I mean? And I'm kind of like, maybe it's too much in the back of my mind that we're gonna lose the audience if I don't just start adding value really, really quickly. See what I mean?
Okay, I see.
And I'm like, okay, so I gotta understand how to say this really quickly and briefly and in the simplest possible way. And I think I struggle a little bit to be natural like this, to like be myself in front of the camera. I'm much more comfortable than what I was obviously in the beginning, because we all get better, but I still have that feeling that I wasn't able to be as natural as I am now with you or with my clients or whenever I first, for instance, have my lives. I'm much more, because I don't have the pressure of having my back against the wall. That's how I feel, against the clock. You know what I mean? That's how I feel with my sections, that when I record something, I'm like, I got to be able to nail this now. You know, it's like if I do too much saying and too much explanation, you're going to cut it. And I'm not blaming you, don't get me wrong, but because we want simple stuff. And I don't know. That's the best way how I can explain it.
Okay. Do you want me to like help you go through this, how to think of it?
Yeah, sure.
Like, so you don't.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, okay. So, if you let me show. Open a new document. or maybe wait.
And let me just say this one more time, because I know one
Yeah.
of my, I don't like to talk about weakness and strengths, but I talk about character traits,
Yeah.
qualities.
Okay. Yeah.
One of my personal
Yeah.
qualities that I'm able to talk a lot. And I think sometimes I have to learn how to be more brief with my explanations. And I have that in the
Mm-hmm.
back of my mind. Here, I don't feel like I have that pressure. I can keep repeating the same things maybe a few times and whatnot and nail the message that way. But when I'm recording the video, I'm like, it's so, I know my limitations as far as how I do stuff. So I'm like, I need to learn how to say the same thing without saying it three times. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Mm. Yeah.
That's why maybe I feel that I'm rushed sometimes when I do it.
I think that's normal actually.
Yeah, I think so too. But it's it's just like because it's fucking hard, man. It's
Yeah.
really hard
Suddenly
because
when you press record, suddenly everything becomes awkward.
yeah, yeah. Even though I'm not nervous, but I actually look forward to it in a weird way
Yeah.
every time I record. But it's like, and then when I was telling you that, you just like sometimes you haven't slept that well, and it's like, fuck,
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
nightmare. It's literally a
Yeah.
nightmare just to kind of like keep your eyes open and like stay focused just to say something that makes sense. Like I felt that way recording the last video. I just felt like I was
Yeah.
fucking, you know, on a scale from 1 to 10, like 2 plus, and it was just
Yeah.
like pulling teeth the whole time. But
Yeah. I get it. Actually, I do a lot of presentations for my degree work as well for my computer science course, and we all have to like record a lot of like project demos and stuff. And yeah, even though we record a lot of times, it's always we stumble on our words, even though we know what to talk about. So yeah,
yeah, I know it's crazy, but that's fun in a way because it's like you're never ready. You're never ever ready. You just keep going, and then you get a little
yeah,
better. You're never
yeah,
finished. It's
yeah.
just funny.
Okay, so what I want to show you just now
Yeah.
is like, oh yeah, about the hook that I gave you previously.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is what I was talking about. Like, as long as we say the AKA right things, it doesn't really matter if it's a little longer or a little shorter. Just take as much time as needed to just address the people behind the screen. You know, it's like you said, like the personal connection is what matters in these videos, especially during this time where AI content is blowing up. You have these videos of fake people talking on on the social media and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, especially when we're in this very very niche kind of market on YouTube, I think it's more important to say more of the things that they want to hear instead of like trying to get straight to the point and just give them like the info. Basically now info like I don't know if you watch Caleb's newest short on Instagram. It just
I
popped up today on my feed.
I did not see that. No.
He actually said like information is the commodity now. Like it's very very easy to get very good information.
Yes.
What people lack is like the personal connection.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
so,
and I used to say give away the info, sell the implementation, because it's like all the info is out there. It's always been there. I mean, nobody can talk about any new stuff. It's just like repackaging the old. But if you want to hire a coach, ultimately that person, yes, you need that personal connection. I think that's if you're building a personal brand, it's huge. But you also want
yeah,
somebody to hold you accountable and make sure that
yes,
you
exactly.
get the implementation done, because information is not the thing. If you think about
Yeah,
personal training, it's like
yeah,
you know if you had to provide new information all the time, none of these personal trainers had a job or business, because they couldn't. They
yeah,
just keep repeating the same message, same exercises, same nutritional info,
yeah,
and all of that stuff. It's
yeah,
it's been there since fucking the 20s or 30s or 40s or 50s.
yeah. exactly.
it's the connection, like you said, the personal connection, and then who holds you accountable.
Yeah, they buy from people they like.
Yes,
That's
correct,
basically it.
correct.
Yeah. So I think, of course, like the challenge of like stumbling on our words, those kind of things are, I think it's unavoidable, but we can manage it by like putting ourselves in their shoes so we know how their perspective is. And then once we know that and understand them deeply on a personal level, you know, once we feel like we're talking to someone that we know, of course it's better. Like we could give them better advice easier, Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to show you how to do it on like ChatGPT. And
Yeah.
you basically just ask them a lot of these questions like, okay, what are the beliefs around maybe like vacancies or turnover? Like what does it look like? What are the conversations they are having with people who, say they will rent for 6 months, but suddenly they just rent for 2 months and they say, "Oh, I'm moving out," or something. And then why are they frustrated? And all these things. And in the end, once you have compiled all of this data, you just basically said, okay, based on what we have just discussed, give me like a, you know, mental profile of what they look like. This is what Mark Shetty, the guy who was, explaining about this copywriting stuff. I learned this from him. He was basically labeling this as an archetype.
Yeah.
And archetype is like a type of person, if you know what I mean. And
Yeah.
if you search
Yeah.
on Google,
Yeah.
there's a definition for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just ask it, okay, what, why do late or missed rent payments a problem to them? And what have they done to address it, to fix it, but didn't work so well, but still decides settle on it.
Yeah. I think the difficulty here is that, and I can see that I have a long way to go when it comes to this script building from that perspective. But I think the challenge here is that, okay, again, like anything else, there's just so much info. So what feeling, what problem, what emotion are we tying the video to back to? You know what I mean? And the script. So because we can't have too many pain points, then it's just like then it gets messy and too long, and you know what I mean. So I think that's really the thing here. And again, now looking at this previous script that I provided, it's not really directly linked to any feeling, for sure,
Yeah.
or emotion.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So I would maybe, if you could do me a favor, if you could
Yes.
just give me like some of these high level prompts that you use to approach it that way, like the first maybe five, and then I will kind of like start thinking about it from that perspective. But I also think that it would make sense for us to brainstorm a little more before start we start working on a new video script, because I think this title level headline stuff is not simply enough, because I don't think we are fully on the same page. We need to be better on the same page. It's nobody's
I
fault,
think
but it's just the way. I
this
mean,
is not. This is actually not just the title. Actually, this is like the whole content.
no, yeah, I agree. But what I mean by title is that when now I'm looking at the, because now remember, I'm a concrete guy. I'm like, I like standards and processes and templates. I have my 30-day calendar now. I'm looking at, okay, these are the dates when I record it, and high level, of course, I'm changing stuff like you have already done. But I'm like, okay, do these titles at a high level that you put together make sense? And then that's why I start from the title and go down. You know what I mean? But I think that's where we need to kind of like, because you might have thought about completely different things when you write the title. You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly. Yes.
And I might look at it from a completely different angle, and that's where the mismatch then comes.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
So how do you? Let
Actually,
me
like
ask you this: how would you
yep.
tackle that particular so-called, call it miscommunication or misalignment challenge that we right now have with the title versus the script and the feelings and the emotions?
Yeah. So what I'm doing is exactly that. Is just to show you how I think of it. So like I want to show you like my process, so that I'm not saying that I'm 100% right. I do not have like the expertise that you have. So if you know what I know, and essentially you can like get ultimately better outputs from ChatGPT than I could ever have, because you know the intricacies, you know
Yeah.
the little things that I do not know of. So yeah. So if you want to think of this as simple as possible,
Yeah.
you just first you ask like ChatGPT to understand what is the thinking of the viewers behind this topic, and then just you can ask it to like search for search for data based on real discussions on forums, and then two,
See
you
what?
ask it
Yeah.
to give you some questions for you to answer, so that later on, the third step, you can ask it to write a script based on the answers that you have provided it. Because in this way, you're not just writing in how you think of it. You're basically not losing the essence of the connection, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah,
Because it's
I
just
need to
putting.
build a story based on, I now I just basically put together the script based on how I run stuff, and I ignore the part to a certain extent as far as how people see the
Yeah.
problem and what their feelings are when they have that problem.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think I don't need to like to go through this like all of the process, because
No.
how I do it, it is actually a lot of questions I ask it. So yeah, next time I just give you like 5 to 10 prompts that you can just copy paste, and then yeah, you get a good output or something.
Yeah, but what are we gonna do
Yeah.
with the script now? We're running out of time because I have my meeting starting in 5 minutes. But what are we gonna do now with this latest script? Are you gonna look at it and then give
Yep.
me some
I will
proposals?
look at it, because it's gonna take a very long time if we like do it like
Yeah,
together.
I agree.
Yeah.
But I think it would make sense for us to dedicate one session for just one. I would like, if you have the time,
Yep.
I would like to maybe have a separate session where we just talk about the next script, and we start,
Yeah.
like clean slate. Okay, take the next one on the 30-day plan, and okay, how do we both look at it? What were your thoughts putting that together? What was my thinking putting it together? You know what I mean? Because I think we need to. This is the bread and butter. And now when we
Yeah.
go from hard skills to soft skills more too in the future, I think that
Yeah.
the better alignment we have, I think this is not really low hanging fruit because this is very tough,
Yeah.
and it's supposed
Yeah.
to be tough. But I think if
Yeah.
this is done well, it makes a big impact down the road. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
allows me to stay authentic and genuine.
Yeah.
Plus, at the same time, it takes the audience's needs better into considerations and their feelings.
Yes. Okay. I don't know. I cannot guarantee like if I can do like extra meetings, because you know my my brain works in a different way, because my ideas when I talk to people, it suddenly becomes very like bad when I say it out loud, and I get a lot of my good ideas when I'm not actually working.
Yeah.
When I'm doing stuff like working out, when I'm taking a shower, suddenly I get
Yeah.
a good idea.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. So
No, that's fine, and I respect that. But I'm just thinking is that somehow we need to bridge the gap between the two of us. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
That's the thing.
I'll try. I'll find a process where that I want to make things easier for you as well.
Yeah,
So
because that, I mean, I'm
yeah, I'll try.
quick when it comes to this. I'm like, I can fire back right away. I can kind of, I'm not saying I'm
Yeah.
smart, but I'm just like this way. I'm different than many people that I can kind of like communicate back and forth really quickly. And there's like
Yeah.
stuff that comes to my mind. I can draw conclusions, but I understand people are different. Some people need that space, and
Yeah.
they do that. So therefore, it's not, useful or fruitful if we just follow my logic only. That's, I understand that, and I'm not
Yeah.
expecting that, but I'm just saying that let's figure out a way how we can get these, because the ultimate goal is to make sure that the scripts are better and there's a better connection,
Yes.
with all of that. I think that that's the ultimate goal. The way we handle that, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm open to anything. I don't care, but we need to
Okay.
get there.
Okay.
That's my point.
Okay. Okay. I'll think of a very solid process that we can follow
Yeah.
each time we create a video.
So
Okay.
before we go, I want to just look at the content calendar next, because this one
Yes.
we have coming. I'm going to record tomorrow for Thursday.
Mm. Yeah.
Let me see here. What day is the 14th when it's coming out? That's the 20 years of real estate invest. No, if how I manage 20 plus rental properties. Uh, then the contractors for home renovation would be the next one. But do we want to replace that with
Yes.
something else? I think it's not
Yeah,
necessarily
we
for
can
home
replace it.
renovation, but I think it would be. I'm open to talking about finding the best contractors for your business overall, not just for home renovation.
Okay. Yeah. Finding contractors.
For
Okay.
business.
Yeah. For businesses.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So that will be the next one, right?
Yes, that would be the
After the
next
con.
one. But send me the key prompts so that I have some structure in my mind as far as how you do it. I wanna see
Okay.
if that process works for me.
Okay. Okay.
So
I'll send that over to you tonight.
okay, yeah, perfect. Um,
Yeah.
other than that, let's keep in touch. I'll send you mine tomorrow, and you're gonna send me the script for the questions
Yep.
for the short tomorrow. I have a lot of recording to do tomorrow.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do that. Okay, thanks, man.
Okay. Okay. Right.
Okay,
Thanks.
bye.
Bye.
Okay, so there was a question in Finnish here. What's the topic of the conversation? So basically, I had a meeting with my social media manager. Nelson is the guy who's in Malaysia, and he does my editing and my high-level content planning for me. And then I have a weekly meeting with him where we go through the performance of the videos, the content I put together, and then we just identified the biggest gap right now, in my opinion, is in my ability to really put together better scripts. So that's something that we try to tackle. So he has his way of looking at it, which is more from the what kind of emotions and feelings does the audience have when they watch videos. I mean, they're always looking for solutions to their problems, and I'm like, in order for me to stay authentic, I need to be able to only talk about stuff that I know, right? I mean, that's obviously the answer. So, hey, what's going on? Sorry, I'm late.
What do you got going on over there? Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to you and my 5 live audience members here. And again, if you're not,
Let's go.
I can mute or we can go private. But Gerardo is my number one. He's my favorite client. We have the Tuesday morning his time, Tuesday afternoon my time. Gerardo is in the U.S. I mean, some of you might know him, but he's a real estate business owner, and we talk about life, and we talk about how to separate signal from noise and how to grow business. So
Yes, sir.
that's why we are here again. But again, like last time, we muted the line because we had some personal stuff going on. So it's like any time, like I said, you let me know, and then we kill the line or mute it or whatever, because it's just a bonus here in the background.
No, good, man. We're good.
What's going on?
Man, just had a good Monday.
Good.
Very productive. Um, sometimes I tell you my cold calls take the whole day sometimes. This time I just went straight through them and got them done in a couple hours, and it freed up some time. I mean, even though I still get a little exhausted afterwards. So I tend to kind of um, just take a little break, unwind for a little bit, and then I had to, because that's the thing I was going to talk to you about. Is like I felt overwhelmed many of these times where after I was done cold calling, I just didn't really want to do anything anymore. You know, and so like I wouldn't be able to run my numbers, I wouldn't be able to pay bills. Like there would just be other things that I just felt like I couldn't do, and so I think my old self is just trying to find an excuse. You know what I mean? And so I'm just like, no, it's gonna get easier. It's gonna get easier. So yesterday, um, even though it was exhausting, I was able to get through it a lot quicker. And I took my dog to the park and just sat there in the park. I took care of some to-do lists. I got a lot done, and I felt good. I had energy, and then I ended up going to an investor meeting afterwards. But I really didn't think I was going to be able to because I thought I was going to be super exhausted.
Yeah.
But so I was trying to just be aware of that day in general, because I know I was thinking today, like actions over feelings helps out a lot, but I think sometimes feelings also help. It seems like, you know.
Explain more.
Well, if that's like yesterday, I feel like it was like a perfect example, and it's like when I'm feeling like, you know what, I can do this. I'm gonna be successful. These are the things. These are the reasons why I'm doing this. You know, perspective, gratefulness, all of those things. Thinking about them in the morning really puts things in perspective. You know, and I think adding that, it gives you an extra drive. You know, and I think I believe we've talked about this a lot.
Correct.
I don't remember the right term that you mentioned, but it was just, you know, thinking about the future and why we're doing this.
Yeah. So the phrase I'm using always is that, like, if we have, I mean, people talk about motivation, and I think you can create motivation in so many ways. To me, regret is one of the most powerful ways. So the thing I'm desperately scared of in life is regret. So I'm like, okay, do I have to do this now so that I don't have any regrets when I'm out of time, truly out of time? And the quote that I sent to you yesterday, I believe, let me read it out loud, is one of my favorites. Let me see here. So the quote of the day was, "Today I will give everything I have because this moment may never come again. That's the only thing I have full control over." So I think that pretty much summarizes also the conversation we have had, and what you're referring to is that if you think about it that way, that you have, this is the reason why it's so super hard, is because chronologically we have three things in life. We have past, present, and future, and many people make the fundamental mistake of focusing on the future or the past, meaning they just never truly realize what they have. But then on the other hand, you do need to have a strong enough connection to the future so that if you want to use that regret as the ultimate motivator, which is my case. So I need to be able to put myself in those shoes of myself when I'm in my deathbed moment, out of time. And then I'm like, okay, I have to be able to kind of like go back and forth between 90-year-old version of me and today. It's like, okay, so like for a fraction of a second, like I go there and I'm like, okay, do I have to do this thing now so that I don't have any regrets? Yes. Then I take myself back to the present moment and like I live in a one day cycle. So it's like constantly, for a brief moment, ask yourself, what do I need to do so that I don't have any regrets? And then come right back. Don't spend another minute there, a second there. Come right back to this present moment and ask yourself, okay, this is a one day cycle. Like you are a perfect example. So your goal is to make at least 100 cold calls every day to promote and market your business. And then so you know how it goes now. You've done it, enough many times. I do 105 today, 113. It doesn't matter what you did today because tomorrow is another day and your clock starts at zero. This is a perfect example of life, of living in a 1 day cycle. Think about it. So you like every day you start from scratch. It doesn't fucking matter how many you did yesterday. You have to do it all over today. You know what I mean? And I feel excited about the opportunity again. And every day
Yeah.
you get less anxious, less tired after you pull that off, right? Because you build that mind muscle of like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Right.
So I think
All
that's
those.
the
All those.
balance
Yeah.
between future and today. Future and
Yeah.
today. That this, I mean, I can only say what works for me, but you know, some people can resonate with that.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. It's just there's so many things running through my mind all the time, and like I really believe highly in uh, like how we identify and
Mm,
who we are
mm,
and who we can be, and
mm,
we are what we went through in our past. All our habits that were created subconsciously, you know, that through our childhood, through whatever, just we took the easiest way out because we had no idea that adversity is where growth is.
mm,
So we always looked for the easy path,
mm,
and I feel like I did that a lot,
mm,
and that's where I struggle. And let me just explain a couple of things that I was thinking about yesterday, and somebody had mentioned it to me, and it kind of resonated with me because I always like felt like when I was getting close to something successful, I felt like I would sabotage it or I would just make it very difficult for myself.
mm,
And I didn't understand why. And one guy told me, or he mentioned it, he talked about this, and it kind of really resonated with me. It's like, you're afraid of success because of the work you're going to have to do to get there and the work that you're going to be doing to keep it. You know, and growing up, I always found the easy way out. I was always kind of like the laziest. And I feel like I've been going throughout my life, yeah, succeeding, you know, but I felt like a lot of the times where I would succeed, I would celebrate. I mean, celebrate. Yes, I think it's important to celebrate,
mm,
but I feel like there's a certain extent, and I
mm,
feel like when I would get little, and I well maybe I can get your perspective because it's like, yeah, I want to celebrate, and I do celebrate, but what's too much celebration where it's preventing me from growing?
mm,
You know?
mm. I definitely I can feel the connection there. I use a little different terminology. I think it's ultimately the same thing. I look at it from the perspective of change, and if I put myself in those same shoes, uh, I think one of my limiting factors as an entrepreneur was my lack of willingness to hire people or more people and deal with HR headache because I had a lot of that in a corporate world where I had a big team and I had to do a lot of that HR management. So then ultimately the way I connect the dots is this. So ask yourself, when is it that people change? People change when the pain of staying the same exceeds the pain of change. You know what I mean? So let's say using your example first and then mine. Your example is like, why am I afraid of being more successful? You like that change, that pain related to the change of maintaining that, growing, doing new things feels more painful than being where you are right now, even though you don't really like that either. Let's say somebody in a bad relationship. Okay, so you have a terrible marriage, but you're like, okay, fuck. I, I mean, I don't like this. This doesn't work. We keep fighting. We don't have intimacy. We don't have anything, but the kids see us fighting all the time. But your fear of being alone, do I ever find anybody again? I have to split the assets. Do I have enough money? You know, am I good enough? Am I good looking enough? Whatever. It's like that fear is bigger, you know, or the pain of that change, that unknown, is bigger than the pain of staying that known pain. You know what I mean?
Right,
And then we
right,
don't change because it's like,
right.
but and the same thing with somebody who's suffering from alcoholism, for instance. It's like if you're abusing that, it's like you don't really change until you hit the rock bottom. And the rock bottom is when It could be to an outsider, it might feel like, okay, why the heck isn't that rock bottom already? But in that person's head, the pain of change is still more painful and scarier than the situation they are in. They start making changes when the current state is just so freaking painful that the change doesn't feel like anything anymore. You know what I mean? So same thing I would say with you. And in my case, it's like, even though I didn't like the lack of growth in using my metrics or whatever, I was like, that still felt more comfortable than the pain associated with hiring people and dealing with HR issues. See what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's the same thing, but it's just using a little different terminology.
Yeah, yeah, but I think like for me too, those like, and it's kind of part of my book. I started writing a little bit more notes about my book, and it's just like, I don't know if it's gonna work. I mean, I don't know, but it's like I feel like in your marriage idea or your marriage example, I feel like I'm in between. I'm kind of like in this bad relationship, this bad marriage, right? But I'm trying to like start a side business. So I'm kind of trying to make some money on the side, making some money so that way once I make enough money, then I can feel more comfortable leaving the marriage, right? But then I do some and it's like, all right, cool. I made $5,000. It's like, all right, cool. Now it's like now I can celebrate. Like maybe I can buy myself some stuff to make me happier in this marriage, you know. But it's just like I'm not, you know what I mean?
Yes,
like
exactly,
that's where I
exactly,
feel like I'm at,
exactly.
you know.
I totally, yeah, exactly. But then we think that we don't really. I mean, something else is gonna make those problems go away ultimately, right? So it's like
versus just peeling off the band-aid, you
exactly.
know, and leaving the marriage.
Pull the
Just like
plug.
that's
Pull the plug.
yeah,
And
and
that's why.
that's where
Yeah,
I'm
go ahead.
afraid. I think yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's where I think I'm afraid
Yeah, and
somehow.
it's like, of course, you didn't mean it little. I mean, you were talking about from business perspective, but if I throw this back to the relationship side, if you think about it, there's a reason why guys overall. I mean, if there's any females out there, I mean, this all the credit goes to you. You know, usually women are much stronger psychologically in that sense that they can leave a bad relationship and they have enough courage and strength to be alone for a while. Guys usually, unfortunately, I have to say, they leave a bad relationship when they have something else lined up.
Yeah,
I don't know if you
yeah.
noticed the pattern or seen that, but
Oh,
uh,
that was me. That was 100% me. Yeah.
it's like because it feels scary. You don't want to pull the plug and be like be left alone and deal with this and that stuff alone. You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, I'll do it when I have enough courage, which is like, okay, I have enough proof on the other side of the fence that I'm still valuable, I'm still good looking, I'm still attractive, you know, and all somebody else is, you know, willing to be with me, and then I'm like, okay, bye bye, bye bye. It feels, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so but I think the reason why, if we tie this back to business, obviously, so I think the reason why this is important is that we don't have to, or we don't want to spend too much time on why, but it's good to understand why we have these so-called challenges or limitations. As long as we understand it, then we can do something about it. You know what I mean? And then take action. And now you know that this self-sabotage or whatever you want to call it has been one of your bottlenecks in the past. And now you know that get comfortable with the uncomfortable is the answer, because in the past you didn't have that. I think, if I draw conclusions for you or on your behalf, you didn't have that clear link between adversity, uncomfortable stuff, with the future, a better version of you, so that you don't you ever put yourself in a position again where you're like, well, you know, I wish I had continued with this business longer. You know what I mean? And not look at these shinier objects on the other side of the fence.
I'll tell you one of the a few of the biggest things I feel like whether I succeed in this business or not. I think it's at least, and yesterday was a perfect example of momentum and how working out every day and making these calls Monday through Friday and doing them consistently has definitely, because there's been a lot of battle. Oh, I recorded a little bit yesterday of me making calls and I would be like, please don't answer, please don't answer, please don't answer. And then I'm like, that's what my mind is telling me.
Now you're
You
hoping
know?
for it, you know?
Yeah, like no, well, it's just that's just like please don't answer, please. Like I don't want them to answer.
Yeah.
Like that's and
Yeah,
it's
but
like
now you have changed that. That's what I mean. That now you actually want them because you right? It's easier for you.
well, no, I still say
Oh,
that, but
you still say
mean,
it.
but yeah, but I still obviously I do want them to answer, but part of me like part of me still saying that even though
Yeah.
I know
Okay,
the
I see
reason
what you
why
mean.
I'm doing this. I mean, I tell people the number one reason why I'm doing cold calls is because it's uncomfortable. Not to get leads, not to make money, it's to get that fear out of my
And
mind.
that alone is so much credit has to go to you because you know that. That's like you connect the dots.
God,
Honestly,
yeah,
this is like because so there's let's say you're here now and you want to go here, okay? uh, Not knowing what you don't know is it's like the ignorance debt. You don't know what you don't know. You know what I mean? In the past, you didn't know that get comfortable with the uncomfortable is the answer. Now you know that. That's already 80% there. You know what I mean? And then
yeah.
you just have to do the remaining 20%. It's the heavy lifting is that usually.
And I feel like it's gonna be like downhill from here. Like once I get past, because I feel like in real estate, that's been my biggest fear, is
Absolutely.
the cold calling. It's kind of like the number one fear of people, I think, is like public speaking or heights or something like that, you know? And it's like, if you can conquer the art of public speaking, which I think anybody can if they just put their mind to
Correct.
it, they'll become so much more confident, so much more comfortable, and like, yeah, there's just so many more things that I'm going to be willing to do now because I already did the hard thing.
Exactly. And now you just do more. The next step is to do more of it, and not feel
Yeah,
exhausted again. Soon it's gonna feel like a walk in the park to do those 100 or 150 calls. Honestly, and it's like you feel
yeah,
like I can hit the gym right after that, and doesn't feel like anything. But
yeah,
so if you think about it, life honestly is so simple. We make it hard. And if you ever wonder what is that I should be doing, going back to that very question that you just said, ask yourself what feels hard, what is it that I'm avoiding? And the answer is right there. Think about it. I mean, like, what are the things that you've been avoiding all these years? What feels hard? The thing that feels the hardest is the very thing that you actually need to do. And the sooner
yeah,
you start doing it, that way you avoid regret at the end of the day. Because I guarantee you, even though many people are, I mean, people are different. Not many people have that very strong connection with their intuition and gut, right? They don't really know at 40 what they're going to regret at 90. I get that. That's rare. But
yeah,
if you don't have that, then I guarantee you that you don't want to be where everybody else is at the end of the day because 80% of the people are going to regret the things that they never did. So, had you not done this or started this, you would be part of that 80% of people at 80,
right,
90, 100, or whatever the number is,
right,
regretting the stuff. So you're doing the biggest favor to yourself. I mean, this is the highest ROI, regardless of the end result, by the way,
yeah,
because
yeah, 100%,
you
yep,
know that you have tried and you've done your very best to get better at it.
right, right. And so I went to a networking event yesterday, but I don't want to forget. Let me write this down. My leads. I went to a networking event. There's a guy that my partner Joe got a hold of, and he get a hold of him. I don't remember how he. Oh, no, I got a hold of him. Sorry, I got a hold of him because I had a cold caller call me about wanted to buy a couple of my properties. And every time I get a cold caller, I would ask him, "Hey, where are you guys from? Like Philippines, Egypt? Can you guys add me to your buyers list, right?"
Smart.
And so she's like, "Oh well, let me see what I can do or whatever." But like we work closely with so and so, but she never did anything, right? So like 15, 20 minutes later, I get a phone call from somebody else, and this was the manager of the cold callers, and she was listening to the call,
Oh, okay.
and so she kind of referred me to her boss, the
Okay.
wholesaler,
Okay.
and then she also kind of wanted me to hire her to cold call, and I did, but it didn't end up working out. We had a misunderstanding. It was a little bit more expensive than what I originally wanted, but that was fine. I networked, But I got to meet this guy. Had lunch with him.
That was yesterday?
And no, sorry, this was probably like 5 or 6 months
Oh,
ago
okay, okay.
that I had lunch with him. Oh, no, it was actually probably, I think it was maybe last year.
Oh,
So
okay.
I hadn't seen him for a while.
Yeah.
And he was at this meeting at this
Okay.
investor club. And so we reconnected again. And I know when I met him the first time when we met for lunch, he had showed me some AI answering system. And so I called the answering system right there with him, and I spoke to the AI, and it was really good. It was really good. But now he's been working on a different program now, where he says that he's using AI to really find really motivated sellers.
Yeah.
You know, and that they're a lot more accurate. And he is soon going to be live, so he wants to do some beta testing. Um, so the reason why I'm saying this is because, again, the reason why I'm cold calling is because of discomfort, you know, and I'm kind of glad that I started now, because technology is going to prevent us from actually doing that anymore.
Correct.
You know, but at least I said that I'm saying that I did the cold calling, and it's going to help me just overall in the future with my confidence.
Yes,
You know?
and remember this is huge. Also, the reason why you're doing is that you actually learn. I mean, every business is about you solving people's problems. People have, I mean, whether it's a real estate agent that you buy from, I mean, not from them, but they represent the seller, or you buy directly from the homeowner, they all have their needs. They have a problem. And you, the better you understand their problems, the better you can put yourself in their shoes, the better and more effective you're going to be at buying properties, flipping them, renting them, whatever. So even if AI replaced all of this, I mean, like every single cold caller is unemployed in 6 months. The thing you're actually building is two things, like you said. It's that resilience and that your ability to face adversity and get comfortable with the uncomfortable. But the second thing is that you actually know so much more about the seller intimately now after this process. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because you know
yeah.
what they think, and that itself is so valuable for you.
And I can control the conversation more, because before I still, but before I was always very quick to get off the phone
Yes.
and afraid of asking them questions when, or, you know, just asking them questions, or asking them like open-ended questions, you know, and continuing the conversation and figuring it. So that, yes, I agree. That's what's going to, so now that's a good transition to now. So I got 2 leads that said, yes, I want to sell my house, and they gave me a price.
Perfect. What kind of
Now,
properties?
so so one of them has a single family locally, and then they have a multi-family about 2.5 hours away.
Okay. Okay.
So, and then the other one, it's two properties, and those are the ones I went to go look at on Friday.
Okay.
But she went out of town, and we're gonna talk on Wednesday when she gets back.
Okay.
I've negotiated a property, a property before over the phone, so I've closed one already. But just there's just a fear that's like, I feel like I'll be able to do fine, but I think I'm just being so hard on myself that I feel like I'm gonna mess it up and kill the deal.
No, you won't.
I don't know how. I don't know, but it's just that.
So the only piece of advice I would give you is that don't talk too much, because oftentimes when we are insecure, when we are nervous, because you're selling now, right? So you're basically selling your services, even though you're buying, but you're selling.
Right.
And I've made this mistake so many times in the past that the harder I try, the more I talk. And sometimes the biggest problem is that we talk ourselves out of that fucking deal by trying to fill every void, every gap in conversations. So the most important things usually, and I'm not a sales coach in any way, but I have read and listened and watched a lot about sales stuff, is that usually the rule of thumb is that the two things you need to remember: when to stop or be quiet, when to pause. So when you give your pitch, it's like you need to practice saying that, okay, I'm going to offer 150. And then you say nothing more. Even if there's an 8-second silence or 10-second silence,
Yeah.
you will let the seller, in this case, the property owner, blink first. You know what I mean? Because you
Right.
have so
Yeah.
it shows confidence in your ability to set the price that you are right and this is also right for them. If you start, explaining, and like if you're the one blinking first, you usually talk
Right.
yourself
Right.
out of that
Right.
deal. So
Yeah.
learn how to, learn, but keep in mind, write two things: pause and stop. Like,
Yeah.
use pauses, be like the kind of like the more calm you are, like you can adjust the cadence of your talk, the volume up, and you know what I mean. Be calm,
Yeah.
take breaks, and then stop. You know what I mean, and let the
Yeah.
other person talk, because the person in control is the one who asks all the questions. So if you put yourself in a position where you ask the questions, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
and not them asking you, you actually have the power in that negotiation. And when you give
Right.
your final price, don't say anything. Just don't say anything.
Yeah. Yeah. So I kind of got a little bit of practice when I went to go look at that house I told you about that the guys
Yeah.
didn't want to go below 80.
Yeah.
And this is stuff that I've been kind of researching on YouTube and whatnot. And so there's certain questions that you ask, like, hey, what's making you want to sell this? To find motivation. You know. And then I also asked, like, oh, so what do you think it's going to cost to bring the house back to marketable condition? Just to kind of get an idea of what they think the cost is going to be, and then from there I can start telling them, oh, I feel like it needs this, and that, and then what are you looking to get for the profit? Like that's one thing that I've learned is like try to get them to say a price before,
Yeah.
like you said,
Yeah.
before you do,
Correct.
and then also then it's like, okay, well, get them a price. I ask them for a price, and then it's like, okay, is that price negotiable, or is that where you're staying firm at? And if they say, oh, it could be negotiable, or that's staying firm, then the other part would be like, okay, well, if we can give you a no obligation cash offer, we cover closing costs, we cover commission, what's the best you can do, to try to see if they can go even lower,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. And also that take care of trash for you, don't have to worry about that stuff. So it's like,
Oh, right.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
because that's a big thing for many people. You would be surprised how much you can. I mean, it's all about time and convenience. That's the thing. So there's like when you. When you go into that negotiation, put yourself in their shoes. What does value mean? They get what they want without any risk in half the time, basically, compared to what they were thinking,
Right.
and making it twice as easy. How do I make it fast? You tell them, and you meet their timeline. So you choose. You want to move out tomorrow or in 5 weeks or whenever, you choose. Make it easy. Leave all the shit behind if you want. We'll take care of all the repairs, all of that stuff, and make it risk free. I've closed this many deals. I've been in the business for 20 plus years. People only have good things to say about me. You know what I mean? And if you could back that up with somebody, just like having testimonials or whatnot, but you won't be able to put that together between now and then. But still, look, always think about value. So that, what does that mean to them? So risk, time, and ease. Those are the things that they are willing to pay for, so to say.
Yeah. Okay. Um, what is another thing I was going to
So you're gonna, what about that? So you're gonna see all of them first, and then you're gonna talk, or
So I saw two of them are well. So the first one, the guy who wants to sell one house. The thing is that one is it's being rented, and then for the fourplex, which he says is a fiveplex, I'm trying to get more comps because there's not really a lot of comps, um, and so I kind of want to get an idea of what it costs and see if he has any pictures because it's really difficult for me to be able to price it out if I can't see,
correct?
So I'm just going to kind of follow up with him and find out, like, I don't know why I didn't ask him this in the beginning. It's like the rents, what he's renting it for. Well, the fourplex, he did tell me what he's getting, but the single one, I don't think he wants 60, and I just think it's priced too high And I think that's also why I'm coming in like, I don't know, I'm going to need to bring them down way, way down. Um, and then I'm also wondering if I should, because I'm trying to figure out how I can tell them that I'm going to wholesale it without wholesaling it, and put it under contract so that I can show it to to buyers. Because I don't want to talk to buyers about them if it's not under contract. So I'm thinking of being like, hey, you know what? This is what our underwriting team ended up pricing it at. You know, let's say he wants 60K, and let's say we're at 25K or 30K, and he's like, oh hell no, that's not, you know. So then I would tell him, well, you know, what I can do is, you know, we can put it under contract, and then I can show it to our group of investors that we have, and see if any of them are interested in it.
Yeah.
Or they would want to see it under contract before we can actually,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And the other thing that came to my mind, I think that's a good point. Making it easy again. So it's like if he feels that whatever all cash first direct offer is not good enough, then you can just see if there's another avenue to pursue. But the other thing is that sometimes if people are reluctant to send pictures, if they don't have the performa and all the numbers and whatnot, you can actually turn that to your benefit too. It's like if you sense that there's an opportunity to make it easier for that guy, because if they understand that they actually need pictures to be able to sell, of course they do, but some people just don't think that way. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, well, I didn't know I need to put this together, because every buyer, if you put it on the MLS, you know how it is. The real estate agent is going to ask you, what are your expenses? What are the rents? You need to have access. There's a lot of headache. So it's like, how can I turn this into, a benefit, meaning value adding item to the seller, saying that, okay, well, I don't need any of that. But unfortunately, then the price has to reflect that. You know what I mean? It's like,
Right.
and some people might be willing to just do that.
Right. Yeah.
It's like if you feel that there's a lot of pushback, then use that to your advantage. So I'm able to make that work too. I'm okay. I'm going to make it easy for you. Again, easy. People pay for time and convenience. Remember always, time and convenience. And that's where the discount comes from.
Okay.
But of course, you have to be then safe. You know what I mean? As far as making sure that there's enough of buffer there
Yeah.
for surprises and shit.
Right. And that's the thing I have to take into account: the construction costs or the rehab costs, the wholesale fee, and then
Correct.
it's just, again, going back to networking and trying to talk to agents. It's like it feels so different when I don't have the money to buy it. Like if I had the money to buy it, I would feel much more comfortable, which
I know.
shouldn't be an issue. But
But I mean,
yeah,
that's
I
fine.
just gotta get through this. And
It's fine. And then you're gonna learn, and you're gonna make connections that are gonna be useful down the road anyhow. So one way or the other.
the other thing too is like, and again, I shouldn't be thinking like this, but I just, and I don't even know if I should be putting it out there, but I just feel like, when I get leads, it builds momentum, you know.
Yes,
And
of
I go,
course.
all right, let's go, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck it, like these, and I guess it's good to think about it so I can prepare for it. But just like if both of these deals fall through, it's like, fuck.
I know.
You know.
But it's like, but this is like, remember, so all good salespeople, every single no, they know it's a good thing because it takes them closer to a yes. Because it's a numbers game. You need to have X number of leads, go through the process with the leads in order to get your Y number of deals, right?
Right.
So think of it this way. It's actually not a setback. It's something that's built into the process. And the sooner you get through these no shows and no deals and whatnot, the sooner you get your yes deal.
Right.
Because it's a numbers game. You can't bypass that. There's no way. You might get lucky once, but like reality is going to hit eventually.
Yeah.
So look at it this way. So every time it happens, like, okay, this was supposed to happen. It's good that it happened now and not 6 months from now, because it shows me that I'm on the right path, because I was supposed to get the no's before I get the yeses.
Right.
That's important when you talk about reframing your mind and all of that. So that thing is huge, because all sales is that. And they always say that the most successful salespeople are the ones who want to rack up those no's right away. They just do so much
Right.
volume that they get the no's right out of the way. It's like, I know.
Yeah.
It's like, and they never get, I mean, sidetracked because of a no. Because like, it doesn't matter to them. It's like, they keep moving like a bullet train.
Right.
And I think there's a lot of truth to that. So,
Yeah. The brain is
fuck.
interesting, man.
I know. It's like, imagine how much, I don't know if it was this hard when you were young.
For real.
Think about, I mean, I don't know if we're thinking that much, but like, we are so, I don't know, what's the right word, self-aware and, you know, aware of the surroundings and our feelings and, you know, how everything
Yeah.
is interconnected. And it's like, you get older and it's like, fuck, you got to do so much work to reset your mind. And it's like an understanding that's
Yeah.
like, we talked about, it's a 1 day cycle. It's like, doesn't matter what I did today, tomorrow I have to do it all over.
But it just like, fuck, dude, but again, I gotta embrace it and really take it in because it's making me a different person
Yeah,
by rewiring my brain.
correct. Correct. Yeah, that's what you're doing. But okay, so learning always is this. When we try to learn something, or people say that I'm gonna learn something new, the first step is always to unlearn from the bad habits, the old habits. You can't learn new. I mean, relearning is kind of easy. You know, it's like you study something, but what keeps you stuck is the old habit. So you gotta unlearn first, get unstuck, and that's hard. You've been doing something for 40 plus years or whatever. And it's like unlearning from that stuff in order to learn the new. Like you're going through that with the cold calls right now. You know that because you said you've been avoiding the hard stuff. First, you need to unlearn from that. And one way to do is just to force yourself to do the right actions or take the right actions so that you kind of step by step start unlearning. But they are so deep. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a battle that I have with my inner dialogue.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
Yeah.
why are you doing that? Don't do that. It's stupid.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. All
relax.
the time.
Watch
Yeah.
TV. You know. It's like the general. Fuck that. No, we have dreams. We have goals.
Yeah, but it's like it never goes away. I think the thing is that people. I mean, I don't know if we talked about this last week, but I had a conversation with somebody and that person told me that life's supposed to be fun and easy. I said fun, yes, easy, no. It's supposed to be fun, but not easy because if it's easy, you just never learn. You're in your comfort zone all the time. The goal is really to enjoy the adversity so that even the hard stuff becomes fun. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think that it's just that has to be the goal because otherwise if you just do the fun and easy all the time, I guarantee you're going to regret so much stuff in the end. You're going to end up like the 80% of the people. It's like I just did it always because it was just so easy and fun.
Right, and that's like I think the difference between dopamine and serotonin. You know, dopamine is the quick, easy, fun, exciting stuff. The serotonin is the long-term happy feeling. And when you're doing hard stuff, you know, you get rewarded for all that. And it just builds character, it builds, you know, like you did hard. It's like Joe Rogan talks about this. He's like, I go on a cold plunge and I work out because if I can do that hard shit, everything else that I'm going to do throughout the day is going to be easy. Because this isn't compared to this, you know? So that's why the first thing I do is I do hard stuff so that the rest of the day is not that hard.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing. You can't avoid the hard stuff. Oh, of course you can. It's everybody can do whatever they want, and we have different ways to motivate ourselves. And maybe some people don't think about what they're going to regret. I'm just so painfully aware of the fact that what I'm going to regret when I'm 90 if I don't do it now, that I don't have any other option because I don't live with myself right now. But there's, I mean, so I say to people that I have plenty of things that I don't want to try. I don't want to jump off a plane. I have no willingness to do that. You know, it's zero. But there are certain things and I know that I'm not going to regret it. But the other stuff, I know I have to.
Yeah. Question.
Yeah.
Can you maybe? I was curious about this last night. Um, how do you prepare before you go to sleep? Like, do you do anything to unwind, or you just work, and then once you're done with work, then it's like, all right, let's go to bed?
Yeah, the latter.
Basically, it.
The latter. I take melatonin, 5 to 10 milligrams every night between 9:30 and 10 p.m. And then I go to bed depending on the day, how tired I am, between 10:45 and 11:15 usually. Like last night, maybe at 11 o'clock. I usually fall asleep right away. I'm tired. My challenge is that I might wake up in the middle of the night or really early, and then like today I had a good, I mean last night I had a good night's sleep, so I probably had 7.5, 8 hours, which is ideal for me. But the night before I woke up at 5 something and I went to bed a little later. So every time I have a lot of stuff on my mind. But to your point, how to unwind, I've tried, this is an area in my life where I need to get better, but the things that I used to be so bad at this, I've been able to make a lot of progress. And to me, really the way for me to unwind is just to put it all under, yeah, you know, get comfortable with the uncomfortable, be grateful. I keep repeat. I mean, if the going gets really, really hard, like I had a tough day yesterday. I'm gonna share something. So, I I um, I sold my house last December. So yesterday was one of those days when everything, you know how those some of those days are. It's like everything just like nothing seems to work, and then you know, um, as a cherry on the cake. So then like I got an email from the buyer saying that, hey, well, we have this water damage here in the property. I'm like, great. So it's like apparently upstairs bathroom might have leaked. I don't know how it's even possible because it's anyhow. And I would be on the hook if it's there's this law that the previous owner seller, if there's something that wasn't disclosed, even though I mean even if I didn't know about it, but if it's like something that's hidden, I should have known about it. So then you start connecting the dots. It's like great, you can just count tens of thousands.
Right, right.
And I'm like, fuck. Then I'm riding the elevator down in my condo building, and I'm like, it's like you know how those feelings are. It's like fuck, nothing is working. It's absolutely nothing is working.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
I'm like, I close my eyes. Kind of how is this related to me being able to unwind? It's like then I'm just like, you gotta find, and it's so deep in my DNA nowadays that it's just like be grateful for everything and everyone. It's like I'm just grateful that this elevator moves and I don't get stuck here. You know what I mean? And it's like you take it to the
Yeah,
very, very basic again. It's like
yeah.
nobody got sick, nobody died today. And that it's just like if I have I mean, I usually don't have, I mean, they come and go, but usually it's like maybe half an hour, 1 hour, I have the really, bad feeling. And then it's like I start doing something and I take a deep breath and I'm like, keep repeating that I'm grateful for everything. And it's just like that way I'm able to calm myself down. But still,
Yeah.
if I'm, and surprisingly, even though that happened yesterday, I slept really well. You know what I mean? Because I was able to kind of like reset the mind and be grateful at
Right,
the end of the day.
right.
And
So
I'm like,
did you figure out what it was, or?
no, it's not my responsibility. It's them. They need to probably get a property inspector, which would be the good because there's no way finding out. I mean, like, if it's the bathroom,
Yeah.
and they just like there's the water seal or the water barrier under the tiles. So it's like there's really no other way. They can go with the moisture gun, moisture measurement thing, but
Yeah.
nobody knows unless you start demoing the fucking bathroom. You know how it is.
Right. Wow.
And then you imagine how that's gonna go. And it's kind of like, well, are you gonna pay? It's like, no. Well, we sue you. Thank you.
Oh my God.
Well, I'm not gonna go there, but it's like you know how it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
You start drawing the
Yeah.
conclusions already, which you shouldn't. But it's like it's one of those things.
Yeah.
Um,
There was another quote too. Okay. Let's see. I think this also kind of hit me yesterday. But like you said, Mondays I feel like are always a drag, and it actually went well for me. But a lot of times the Mondays are just very difficult, you know. But so this one was crazy. So I'm gonna read it to you. I'm 85 years old, and somehow I woke up in my 36-year-old body. just for one day. This time, I knew what to treasure, right? I hear a tiny voice before I open my eyes. Mama, wake up. I blink. He's standing there, bedhead, pajama pants, too short, my little boy. He's small again. He climbs into bed with me, laughing. He wraps his arms around my neck. I used to check the clock. Rush the morning, but not today. Today, I hold him tight, long, and deep. I talk to the mirror, no gray, no wrinkles, no aches in my knees, just me. 36, tired, but strong. I whisper, you don't know how radiant you were, but you were. My husband's in the kitchen making coffee. He smiles when he sees me. Younger, softer, so familiar. I wrap my arms around him. This time I don't let go quickly. We used to rush past each other. Today I hold him close and whisper, thank you. You know? The kitchen floor is sticky, Lego under the foot, socks on the counter. I used to sigh, feel behind, get frustrated. But now I stand still and just soak it all in.
Yep.
My little son chatters all through breakfast, stories about superheroes and questions about monsters. This time, I listen, really listen. No phone, no distractions, just him and his beautiful, curious voice.
Correct.
In the car, he sings loudly, kicks the seat, spills his snack. I used to snap. Now I smile and enjoy the moment because one day, this seat will be empty and I'll miss the noise. In the evening, I pick up the phone and I hear my mom's voice. So this kind of got me choked up and teary-eyed. Tears fill my eyes before I said a word. I forget how much comfort lives in her voice. We talked about nothing, the weather, what she's cooking, but it means everything. I tell her I love her again and again. I don't want to hang up. At bedtime, I don't rush. He picks up his favorite superhero book, and one I've heard 100 times. Tonight, I read every single word slowly, and then I ask, one more? He nods. I don't want this night to end. He whispered, you're the best mom. I hold his small hand, kiss his soft cheek, whisper how proud I am. He lashes, flutter. His chest rises and falls, and I just watch, soaking it in. Tomorrow, I'll wake up 85 again, and he'll be growing, busy, bigger, out in the world. But tonight, I got this precious moment, and now I know this was joy, this was love, this was everything.
Yeah.
One more. If you're living this moment now, don't rush through it. The little hand in yours, the bedtime stories, the mess, the noise, it all matters more than you know.
Yeah, that's it's so true, and it's basically the same thing I also sent to you, which is like the only thing you have is this moment right now, and this is exactly what I started thinking about yesterday too. That like again, I was guilty of the same thing. I talk about myself, worry about the future, when the only thing you have is right now. It's like the only thing you have is right now. I don't even know if I'm going to be alive when that potential damage, lawsuit, or if that even is going to turn into one, is going to be there. I have no idea. So why do I worry about it? The only thing I have is right now. So that's really the thing. It's like these little things that we worry about and get all fired up. It's like socks on the counter or Lego blocks under my feet, whatever. It's like, why didn't people clean up? It's like they don't fucking matter. Nothing matters in the end.
Yeah.
So it's that was powerful.
Yeah, man, it was so powerful. And like every morning now, like when I wake up with my dog next to me, he's just all like comfortable. I take that in.
Yeah.
And that helps me start the day for me.
Correct.
And I go and I look at it in his eyes and just kind of watch all his movements.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And it's like we talked about a few weeks ago, if I remember right. Ask yourself, when was the last time you were really happy and you had a great peace of mind and whatnot? And then write down what you did on that day. And most likely you did those things. You spent time with your dog or with your family members, or you did what you love, building businesses or developing properties or whatever that is. Then you kind of like write that down, and it's probably a list of 3 to 4 things max. And then you're like, okay, how many of those things are really related to what you own? How much money is in your bank account? How many cars you have? Or what's the size of your backyard? Probably none of them. And they are probably trivial things about time, memories, spent with your family members or people close to you, or being able to do the things you love on your terms. Then you're like, okay, so then the question is, okay, since this is my list and it's probably very simple, how do I live this day as many times in a row as possible, the way I just described it? And it's like, it's probably very easy. And then if in the midst of all of that we get sidetracked, like about the future stuff or dwelling on the past, it's like, okay, how do I take myself back to this moment, because this is the stuff that I wanted to do.
Yeah. Right.
It's not very complex. We make it complex because we get distracted, overwhelmed, sidetracked because of all of the noise. Noise is problems, other people's opinions, things that might never materialize, all that. There have been studies about this stuff. People worry about things all the time. On average, we have one to two big things, big worries in our mind. 93% of those worries never materialize. 93%. You might ask, okay, what happens to the remaining 7? According to studies, there was a Penn State study on this. The remaining 7% never materialize as bad as we thought they would. So why the fuck are we worrying about stuff? Stop
Right.
doing that. Like,
Right.
same advice to myself. Why do I worry about that thing? Because most likely it's not going to be as bad as I think. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
100%.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But it just gets overwhelming.
But I think that's why it's important to be aware, because you start seeing those patterns when you start worrying about so many things that you realize it didn't happen. You know,
exactly.
It wasn't even close.
But that's why also one of the reasons why I recommend you to journal a lot is because you can go back 6 months or 3 months and look at the stuff that you wrote down. This is one of the most powerful things about journaling, by the way, because then you can connect the dots between today. Should I really worry about this or not? Because when you go back 6 months and ask yourself, look at the list of issues you had on that day. How many of those are still problems on your plate today? And I almost guarantee that none of them are. So then you're like, fuck. Grateful for this
today,
one. Yeah.
Today, yesterday, Sunday.
Yeah, that's good. Very good.
And then the longer ones.
Yeah. And also you can write if you up to you, but you can also write about the stuff that you struggle with. You know what I mean?
Do.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, that's perfect. And
let's
then I think and the last thing, and you might do that already because you're smart, you go back and reread those. Go all the way back to the beginning. Go all the way back to the beginning every now and then. Every 2 or 3 months, go all the way back to your first note and start reading chronologically.
Let me see here. Jay, I'm grateful that I'm in this difficult financial situation, wanting to give up, but knowing that I really don't want to go back to work for anyone, and that I moved here to really build something I know I can build, but that my mind won't let me.
Yeah.
Now, since my back's against the wall and I'm running out of money, I have no choice but to do the hard work that I know I needed to do, but didn't because it was easier to take it easy. Cold calling has been the thing I needed to do for myself, because I've had PTSD about it from my Verizon days and just from my childhood, always trying to please people and afraid of people getting upset. So it's getting easier to call, but there's still a lot of anxiety and stress, but I'm pushing through. Thanks to Monica and my mentor. I just can't wait to have my 10th wholesale deal from cold calling and texting. Once I'm no longer anxious and stressed about cold calling, then that will be the time to hire cold callers and train them.
Yeah, exactly. That's your path. You're right.
Yeah.
That's why you have to go through it yourself, so that you can train them and teach them and know what it feels like and what it takes.
Yeah.
But you'll get there. Just remember, the biggest thing for you now is that don't get discouraged. There's going to be plenty of no's, and not most likely, but there's a likelihood. There's a greater than. I mean, there's a bigger chance that these things never materialize than, how it is. The odds are not really on your side, but that's why you have to have a lot of them, so that your odds are then on your side in the end.
Yeah. The other thing I was thinking too is like, okay, well, what if I run out of my list? Because the list that I did was for my whole county, and I got like 500 and something leads. And then I was like, well, yeah, these guys that I follow, they just cure the same leads. So I just go back into them. But then after that, I was just like, I don't know what. You could just pick a different lead or something.
Yeah, I think it's like there's always gonna be plenty of competition when it comes to these lists because it's public info based on public information, right?
Yeah.
As long as you're using a list, I think to me, based on my experience, the two most powerful ones are equity and signs of motivation, meaning
Yeah.
distressed,
So
or
yeah,
behind that, or condition usually, or
yeah,
then being behind. But then that in combination with equity, is the combination that was always the best for me. So I look
yeah.
for motivation and then that sign of distress.
The, the list that I have now is high equity, absentee, and then I think
Yeah,
tax lien.
yeah. The absentee I never really had success with personally. It doesn't mean it's bad in any way. Many people use it successfully because they connect the dots as being that being an absentee owner is hard, which is true.
Yeah,
But I don't know. Maybe you could drop the absentee part and just look at distressed and equity. I don't know, and see what kind of a list you get. I think the biggest thing is that you have some of these strong filters in place, and then you just like change one thing at a time. You know what I mean? And then see if there's you could just kind of like compare. I mean, you could have two lists, one which is absentee, distressed, and equity, and one which is like distressed and equity only, and like every other day call and see if there's a difference in response. And it's like, okay, well, draw conclusions that way. Do you know what I mean? See
yeah,
if you can see a higher take rate, but I don't really have a better answer for you. I
yeah.
think
The
just the
other
only thing
thing
is
I was thinking
consistency.
about though is driving for dollars.
Yeah, that to me is probably the best because you see the most. I mean, of course, we don't know if some of those properties are already on somebody's list already, but if
Right.
you know what I mean. But then
Yeah.
you see that condition of the property being a sign.
Right. Right. And I feel like all these lists that people are pulling from other states to call here aren't able to see that.
Correct.
And
I agree.
it's not. I didn't get. I mean, I got a lot more leads from driving for dollars than I have from cold calling. You know.
I still think one of the lowest hanging fruits for you is to reach out to endless amounts of real estate agents, and because it's all about that personal connection. In the end, you're a likable guy, you're a trustworthy guy. I think you have a lot of potential. The same reason you have potential as a buyer, but I think that's something I leave it up to you. But agents have always been my best source for leads and deals I would say, because I was good at building relationships with them because they liked my strongest quality, which is my ability to keep my promises. You know, so you have that built in you. So I think you're gonna do really well with that quote unquote list of people if you started doing that as extensively as you do cold calling for owners, you know,
Yeah.
and just like basically be willing to do whatever it takes to earn their trust. Say that I understand that you don't know me, but again, I mean, I'm not saying you need to do it or you should do it, but
Yeah.
it's just like I just what worked for me
Right. Yeah.
because they will get a
I
lot of
started.
stuff. They will get a lot of stuff behind the scenes that they know about that's not listed yet,
Yeah.
and many of these people. That's how I mean, for instance, here in Finland, all of my leads pretty much my best deals and leads have come from my personal connections with the agents. They
Okay.
give I mean they are able the best agents are able to convince the owner to sell directly to somebody just to use time and convenience and risk-free transaction as the value
Right.
drivers.
Right. And they already built the trust
Correct.
with the seller and
Correct.
are taking their advice,
Correct.
and they already know
Correct.
the pain points, the motivation.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
Um,
And
so okay.
they might have a very well-oiled machine behind the scenes where they get kind of like leads constantly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they don't want to go through the headache of showing like these, rundown properties on the MLS. Like it's more work for them.
Right.
deal with the owner, and it's like, oh great, you're willing to take care of all the junk in the backyard, and they give the flexibility. Less work for me.
Yeah. Um, I've been meaning to tell you, but it's like I don't want to tell EJ because he's probably gonna want me to do it. But I've been really like wanting like to post more like social media, but I just haven't wanted to put in the time, I guess, to do it. And I feel like I was thinking like this weekend, I'm like, I want to just post something that says like, hey, I'm going to start trying to post more. I'm afraid of posting because I want everything to be perfect. But I just want to post just to post and not worry about how I do it, what I could just post. And then just kind of just my journey, you know?
Yeah.
Not post anything, but just, and I've been recording a bunch of videos, but I just haven't wanted to
That's good.
post them. I don't know
That's
why,
good.
but I just feel like I can. And then also I thought about like from these last two networking events, the 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 consistent topic is like analysis paralysis and not jumping on the first deal. So it's like, and then a lot of these influencers, they just talk about after they're successful and like really quick, like these are my numbers, boom, 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 this is what I did, you know? And
But how did they get there?
Right, and all these people, oh, you want to start in real estate? Join my class or my course. And it's like, I wonder if I can just start just trying to analyze from the beginning my thought process, run numbers, run comps, my thoughts behind this, behind that, and then ask people at the end, hey, is there something that I didn't answer that you guys have questions about? And then off of their feedback, start building a more easy understanding 1, 2, 3 on, and just focus on, because a lot of them say focus on a very small niche, you know? And I think the majority of the people are, the big percentage of people are just afraid to start because of the whole process.
Yeah.
I've even had friends tell me like, how do I even buy a house? How's the process of buying a house? Because I bought so many, I just don't think about that anymore.
Yeah, that's right.
I remember going back to when I first bought my first house, how scared I was and how I researched all these agents and I interviewed like 8 to 10 agents and I told them, hey, this is the first time I'm buying a house. I'm going to be very picky. I want somebody to be able to be very thorough with me because I'm going to be having a lot of questions about it, the contracts that I'm signing, everything that I'm signing. I'm going to have a lot of questions and I want to be able to have somebody that's very patient with me. And that's how I found the agent, and now we're just really good friends. We've been really good friends for years.
Yeah. I think so. My first reaction is that that's great because that's what you are passionate about, and everything that you're passionate about, everything that's true to you, is always genuine and authentic. And I think that's the only way how you can do anything consistent online when you are 100% yourself, authentic. And I think that's just because you need to be able to do something that you enjoy. Otherwise, you'll just do it once or maybe 10 times and then you quit. And then it's not going to really, bring you any results. But I think that's big. The only thing I would tell you is that be mindful when it comes to your limited capacity, because we all have limited capacity. You have your 100% that you can allocate or divide into different focus areas every day. And now, I think the big question, in your opinion, is, from your perspective, is that now you're doing reach out. You're reaching out to people, your cold audience, basically. Okay. So if you start and you're putting most of your marketing, and now you're doing basically the things that are the bread and butter for every entrepreneur to grow their business. So you market and you promote several hours every day. Without that, you won't be able to grow. And now we have chosen the cold outreach as your number one channel. Then the next question is that, okay, if you want to get the best bang for your buck, biggest return on investment? What's the closest to that existing activity that you can do, like a high leverage activity? Because now you do one to one. The higher leverage to that is one to many. And content is one of those games. You know what I mean? And I like that. But then the question is, would you be better off reaching out to other homeowners or investors, you know what I mean, to create more attention in that niche or domain you have chosen? See what I mean? As far as the cold audience, the homeowners, or would it be the best bang for your buck to, you know, do the same thing, kind of cold outreach, to but to extend the or kind of like widen the audience a little bit from owners to agents? You know what I mean? See, so that's how I would look at it, because it's like, if we or if you picked another activity that's very different compared to what you do now, my question would only be that, okay, is that going to add to your energy of doing the cold calling, or is it going to take energy away from that? You know, is it a distraction, or is it a bonus? Is it going to make you better and stronger in that area? I think we just have to be mindful of that. That's the only thing that comes to my mind. I think it's like, if you think this way, I think to me is already a very, very positive sign that you want to do more of marketing and promoting. So all of that is a plus. Don't get me wrong in
Yeah,
any way.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
proud of you. I'm perfect, but it's just like, be mindful of where to put that attention. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. I think, well, the thing is, like, I wasn't planning on doing the social, because again, the 3 times a week was, it was doable, but it was a little bit difficult. So I was just thinking of this being a little bit of my, maybe kind of my fun stuff, but
Yeah,
only
yeah, yeah,
only doing it maybe like once a week,
yeah, yeah.
but
That's
be
fine.
consistent. My main thing was like,
Yeah,
only do it if I'm going to be consistent,
correct,
you know.
correct.
And then once, because that's the thing that I want, is I just want to get past the, oh
Yes.
man, I got a
Yeah, yeah,
video
yeah,
and then I got to
yeah, yeah, yeah,
edit and
yeah,
then I
yeah,
got to,
yeah.
you know what I mean? And it's like, if I can just
Just do raw
get,
footage. Don't edit
yeah,
anything. Just
right,
just start doing raw footage. This is actually the reason. One of the reasons why I started doing this stuff, this live, is that I love this more than
we
anything when
haven't
it
lost
comes to
anybody, have we?
huh?
We haven't lost anybody, have
No,
we?
well, plenty of people, but some people have joined probably. I don't know who they are,
Yeah,
but so the point is this, that I think there's a case to be made, a strong argument to be made about this raw and authentic content to be the thing going forward. And I'm not doing this for that reason. I do it because I enjoy it. I like showing who I really am, because to me it's just so super important to show that this is authentic me. You know, it's like, take people behind the scenes. So you could easily just do stories and don't worry about the edit stuff. It's like,
right,
create Instagram and Facebook stories, and you know, like, don't edit them one bit. It's
yeah.
like, just say it out loud. Okay, this is my raw, unedited stuff. Again, I'm just like, this might not make any sense, but who the fuck cares?
Yeah,
Just do
yeah.
it.
That's another thing too, is that mindset. Like I resist posting sometimes because it's not perfect, or I think part of me is afraid of what people are gonna say. You know,
I know, but this is one of those things again. That was me
like, I'm
before I
cold
started.
calling, so
Yeah,
I shouldn't
exactly,
don't give
exactly.
a fuck. You
But
know.
but your cold calling wasn't the same thing as me doing this, what I do now. But I mean, kind of, in that same direction. I didn't want to do any of that social media thing because I just didn't want to show my face and my name. Now I
Yeah.
start this live today saying that, my nose looks ridiculous because I have this pimple on my forehead. So everybody, make sure that you know. It's like, it doesn't fucking bother me one bit. But
uh,
it's like, it is. I don't care. I just don't care anymore. And it's like, I actually think it's good to talk about the shortcomings, because so many people, they never say that stuff. They just want to show the scripted part. The reason why this is so
right,
great, in my opinion, is that there's no filters, there's no post-production edits.
right.
And I think that's the way it should be. And I just talked to my social media guy before this meeting, that, he was like, why can't you explain that stuff, in your videos the same way you explain it to me now? I was like, I don't know, but it's still hard when you turn the record, and like, it's like you have this idea in the back of your head that I need to be brief, I need to be able to simplify this, I can't repeat
Yeah,
myself. And it's like,
right.
when you turn the camera on, it's like, but this, when it's live, I don't need to worry about it because there's no post production, there's no edits. Then I just hit stop and it goes there, and people can watch this 2 hour and 12-minute live, if they want to.
you have questions before we go?
Not there's two now, not right now, but I mean today we haven't had too many, but the last ones I've had have been very interactive, so they have been fun.
Yeah,
But I think
next
it's
time.
hard now because we have this private conversation. This is more kind of like in the background type of stuff. So
Yeah, but it'd be cool to answer some questions.
yeah,
Maybe
I know.
next week.
Didn't we have last time? We did have,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah, we did. So next week we'll start maybe like, hey guys, while we're talking, if you have any questions, whatever.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, I can, and they can start what, maybe I need to put your Instagram tag here. They can start watching your future content when you start talking about, hey, you know what would be cool?
Okay.
I mean, if you want to break the bank, dude, um, start recording yourself making these cold calls.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
I let me see real quick if I can.
Then you have to edit a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
definitely. Start talking about it. I mean, this could be your diary. I mean, depending on how much you want to do it, but this could be your thing,
yeah,
you know, throwing yourself in the cold water. So, if you have a clip, you can send it over to me via WhatsApp.
oh, okay. I'll send it to you. It's just, don't answer.
No, but I mean, that would be huge. I mean, this is,
Yeah, I'm kind of like just filming myself. Right. But
yeah,
that's not, but I'll send you
yeah,
that.
yeah. But I mean, that's what I would do.
It's just, the only thing is I would like to figure out, because they can't hear the other end. They can only hear me, and I'd want to figure a way for them to.
Can't you have a speaker? I mean, like them on the speakerphone. Do you have to have then you didn't just have to unplug the headphones?
Yeah, but my speaker sucks, so my
Ah,
mic I
okay,
think sucks too.
okay.
That's why I have these, because otherwise,
Yeah, yeah,
let me. Let me disconnect it? Can you hear me? Let me see if you can hear me.
yeah,
Me?
yeah. Talk more.
Hello, test.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I can hear you.
Does this sound? Does this sound okay?
It sounds okay, but it's better the other way. But it's I can
Right?
hear you okay.
Yeah.
The volume is the same.
Is it? Yeah. I just.
Put it
But
put it back in.
my speakers is out, so it sounds very staticky. But I'm just wondering if I can.
But I mean, I can hear you pretty much the same way. I mean, the microphone. I mean, the way it picks up on your end. I mean, it's pretty much the same.
Yeah. Can I try one more thing real
Sure.
quick?
Yeah.
All right. One second.
I'm just having a chat with one of my clients here, so there's nobody online right now. There's two people left. Yeah, go ahead.
I want to connect my Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah, I can hear you okay.
Because when I listen to my Bluetooth speaker, can you say something?
Yeah, yeah. What do you want me to say? Testing.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I can hear you okay.
Yeah. Oh shoot. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you hear me good?
Yeah. Very good.
Better?
Actually, better than the headphones.
Can you don't hear like an echo?
Echo? No, no echo. No.
Oh, nice. All right. So I just have this, and then now I can.
Okay.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I mean, it's the same quality pretty much.
Okay. I wasn't sure because I couldn't. I don't want to be calling and then, people can't hear me or understand me. So that. All right. Cool.
But of course, I mean, it could be that I mean the so-called mobile lines, or when you dial people's cell phones, it could be different than this. This is voice over IP basically, so I think it might be different. But try. I mean, I don't have any problem hearing you.
Well, no, I call using voice over IP.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, then you should be fine. I mean, this is good. I mean, I have no problem.
It's a program from my computer.
Oh yeah, definitely. Then that way you can record those.
Yeah.
That would be.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be some value-adding content, man.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, I would watch people. Just do cold calling, so I can, and then right now that I'm so uncomfortable, it's fun. I think it's gonna be funny because I twitch a lot. I'm like,
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
shit, dude,
But I think then the editing is kind of like the killer. So if you have like some of the, you could, like clip them such that you have endings and beginnings, and like you repeat them like 5 in a row. But I don't think people have patience to kind of like, hear the whole conversation, but play with them. Like sometimes have a whole conversation with somebody. Sometimes like just like clip 5 beginnings, 5 5 second beginnings, and then like put them back to back. And the same thing with the endings, and like funny ones is like people hang up on you and call you an idiot. It's like idiot, idiot, it's from different voice. That's how I would do it.
like the
So
rap
it's
songs.
like a playback. Yeah. So
Oh,
because you gotta have the hook, remember, you gotta have the hook. So, but there, that becomes a post production thing then, I think. But I mean, that would be killer. It's like, and then you could have like something like, YouTube video actually. That would be huge
yeah,
for you. Then you can do long form. It's like you speaking, I mean, like introducing yourself in the beginning, saying, hey, well, let's see what's going to happen. And then you edit the parts where people pick up, and it's like, and that's how it was today. It's like, welcome back again tomorrow. You know what I mean?
yeah.
That would be
Is
huge.
this is that a good angle? You think?
Oh yeah, yeah. If you
Just
want to
like
do
that?
it, that, but that's the short form. If you want to do
Oh,
YouTube,
dude.
then it's like this way.
Okay, but this I can use this also as short form.
Yeah, you can. I mean, well, because
Okay, so
because it's shot vertically,
right,
then
right. But
definitely.
no, if I do it horizontally like this,
No, but don't do it that way. Then if you want to post this as a long form YouTube video, then just record it this way too. Otherwise, it looks gonna look funky. I
yeah,
would
yeah.
then I would post it as a short only if it's recorded vertically.
See, look, I'm twitching right now. I'm gonna call right now. Oh, hold
Yeah,
on, let me figure that. Wait, hold on, hold on. Look at my hands. I don't even notice what I'm doing with my hands.
yeah,
Just freaking.
yeah. But I mean, that's normal. Yeah, don't worry about it. I think that's good.
I know, but
That's good. That's powerful stuff. I mean, think about it. If you wanted to do that, that would be huge. The behind the
yeah.
scenes, you know.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So,
Okay, man.
all right, sir. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Take care.
Appreciate
You're
it.
doing a good job.
All right, man.
Take
All right,
care.
bye.
Okay, bye. Bye. Okay, so that was my meeting marathon. So every Tuesday, starting at 3 p.m. here local time, when I start my live, I have my meeting with my social media manager. We go over the previous videos. I post 2 long form YouTube videos a week, plus all the shorts and all that stuff. So we go over the stuff we do and these, lives that I have pretty much every other day nowadays. The Tuesday one, I have the video of just record here me have these meetings, hoping it adds value to some people. Like in the first part, if you want to watch the recording, we talked about my content. I think there were some valuable things for people if you are in the same business of education, so to say, try to do coaching or overall create content. So how to put together a script, combine that with the title and understand the audience first and foremost. And what I basically was explaining there was my approach being a little different than what my social media guy was looking at. And then our challenge is how to combine those two going forward. And then the last hour was me talking to my client, who's a US based real estate investor, business owner. So, but with that, it's been 2 hours and 20 minutes plus. So I'm gonna head home, eat, and then after that, I'm gonna go train with my daughter at the gym. Actually, I won't train, but she's gonna rehab her knee. She had a surgery a few weeks ago, 6, 7, 8 weeks ago. But I try to go her whenever she goes, just to support her. But anyhow, so thank you again, and I'll catch up with you guys later.